So this is going to be my last strat post of the tier. Don't need to really learn much, but we're not playing well. I felt that on Monday's raid, looked through the logs, saw some things that need to be improved. And so here I am, here's this video. We're going to be looking at two polls. These two polls are both 32% wipes, late phase 2 polls. We're going to go in and see where things went wrong, why they went wrong, and move on. But I do want to say to everyone, at this point in progression, when you have so many pulls of the boss, you know what to do. It's not so much about learning and more about recognizing this is a good pull. I need to do my job to kill the boss. Phase 2 is all about positioning. There's a couple times where there's some high damage taken, but that's really it. If you're in the right spot at the right time, if you have the right thing and you move away, we get a kill. And that's what people call playing clutch. When you have a good opportunity, you have good RNG in the fight, you have a good pull, being able to snowball that into a kill is what's going to get this boss finished. So without further ado, we're going to look through these pulls. So the first pull we're going to look at is pull 8. Courtesy of YCR stream, we're just going to go right in. This is in the middle of the intermission phase. Everything I want to talk about is in phase 2. Phase 1 stuff, whatever. Intermission phase, honestly, whatever else out of here. There's going to be one ice that you need to dodge. That's through the tornado on left side. As long as you do that, you're fine. Kill the last ad. Everything looks good. Everyone's playing clean. So our transition is going to happen. And then we're going to see right here, Serathi gets frozen. And so this is 0.5% to 1% less damage on the boss. People have to break out the ice block, and then the person frozen, in this case Serathi, isn't attacking the boss. Serathi gets frozen twice in the part of in this phase in general. That could have netted anywhere between 1 to 2% increased damage on the boss. We'll get into the second one later. But really, when we're at this point and we want to play as clean as possible, every little bit helps. We're going to see that there's a lot of mistakes that could have been fixed and translated this into a kill, into a wall pull. But this is one of them. Moving on, broadside baits are very good. Barrier is good. Glacier Ray bait is good. Honestly, this selection when people are alive is pretty consistent overall, just showing that people know where they need to be. So we're going to skip ahead a little bit. We're going to see damage to the ice block and the barrel. When I call the swap to the barrel moves. We move right around this time, which is where it wants to be. We have lucky icefall RNG, you can see in the bottom right. This is one of the good spots for the first icefall to happen. This is going to expire before anything meaningful happens. So the broadsides get placed well. And then right here, just explaining all the movement, we're going to see what happens. People should be baiting towards the wall and prep for the glacial ray. The Siegebreaker Blast should be at the left, should be close enough to not be getting frozen until they need to move to the very end. You can see Namuro is and has been right here since the beginning. This is, in my opinion, the best way to deal with the phase. This is not about inking out every little bit of damage. It's about being in the right place at the right time. Namuro is at the right place at the right time. No risks involved. What the raid should be doing from here is everyone should be moving from this stack point to the right or counterclockwise. Why? When the glacier ray happens, if you move here, you're safe from everything that's going to happen. If you're in between here because you move to the left and you're slow, you're going to get knocked into the glacier ray and die. If you're moving to the left in general, you're going to have to move a bunch around to the raid stack instead, losing DPS uptime, healing uptime, more time in healing. So we're going to play through and see what happens. Most of the raid moves to the right, some moves to the left. I'm not going to poke out every single person that moved to the left. Just know that if you move to the left here, you did it wrong. We're going to poke out one person explicitly. We see right here, someone was right next to the Murrow on the left because he didn't move to the right. This is Virus. So he gets blown into the glacier ray and dies. And so right here, we have 2 battle reses. We were able to get him up. This isn't a mistake that is going to hinder our ability to push phase 2, but one less battle res out of something stupid like this is pretty silly, where we could otherwise use it on the tanks and secure a very easy P3. So we get him up. Nothing crazy happens. People should be ready in position and doing the damage to the barrel to 25% till we get the broadsides going out. Broadsides will go on in a second. I'm just going to skip ahead a second. So the broadsides move. All of the broadsides did a good job. We can see right here the broadsides are about to explode. And people can be in between the boss and the barrels to get the fire off immediately. It's not necessary. And so this is going to happen. Fire is going to happen right here. People are moving in. Should move out at the end. We can see right here, some people move out a little bit early, a second or two early. Not the end of the world, but they're ready to bait. So we're going to see right here the explosion happen. Big area number 2. One person didn't clear the stacks. Tanks are fine. These are ice shards. That's big area. Has 13 stacks. I'm not going to comment about this later in the poll, but this results in a bunch of healing being put on herself that is not put into the tanks. Healer focus in general being put into her so that she doesn't die. And then when she's at 20 stacks, she's at threat of getting frozen from 2 ticks. Make sure you stand in the barrel. For those that want to just kind of see the effects, we can see a lot of healing was put into Yeri in phase 2 of this fight. And then we see the difference in healing attention into Milton. So much is on the tanks, still down here, and Yeri's doing this because she focused on herself. Again, a lot of healer attention, not so much Yeri because she's focusing on herself because of this thing. This is a result of this mistake. I'm just going to move on from this and talk about the rest of the stuff. So at this point, we're just looking to bait the Glacial Ray. Honestly, this is a fine Glacial Ray. People weren't fully staffed, but it doesn't really matter as long as people move. Skip ahead a little bit. Here's an Icefall. This is a very good Icefall for the raid. A not so hot Icefall for the tanks. Doesn't matter, look, we have a Warlock escorting, so he's able to get a gateway. Broadsides happen, we gateway over, and we should move to the wall. And so here's where I want to talk about everything that needs to happen at this point to make sure we have a clean phase transition. And the timings that we do this, right here the broadside should be happening. The Siegebreaker Blast should be doing the exact same thing they do in the beginning. Move to the left of the raid group a little bit, and then move out at the very end, and then move up to stack back up. And so we're going to see that this does not happen. We see the isolates starting to come to the group. Rohan should be looking to soak, and the raid should be looking to dodge. We see Siegebreaker Blast now on Seraphia. He goes to the right, and he also stays out very early, and he's going to get frozen. So see right here, these two found mistakes. He went to the left side instead of the right, or right side instead of the left. This was a problem because he's not going to be ranged, in range of the barrel in the case that he gets frozen, which he does. So if he went to the left side, it's a mistake and it sucks, but it's at least recoverable. We're going to see he gets frozen. We're going to see other people get Hand of Frost. Virus gets it, Selena gets it. Selena's able to freedom himself. Virus is not. Not really the healer's fault that they didn't get to dispel this on time. But that could have happened. Virus could have dodged in general. What we're just going to have is Donnie's going to mass the spell right here. But this should have happened. He's going to get frozen in a second and get taken out. Most important thing, Glacial Ray happens right here. We should break the barrel. Barrel's a little bit too high on health, but this Glacial Ray should be, this barrel should be killed, and then the raid should be moving towards the wall. And so we're going to see where this goes wrong. Glacial Ray, barrel's 2 seconds late, or whatever, but here everyone should be moving towards the wall. And here's the biggest mistake of the entire fight. Broadsides are going opposite from the wall, and this is bad for a variety of reasons. We're going to see right here, because they are here instead of at the wall area, some people are going to get frozen, and some people are just not going to be able to do damage when they should be able to turret the boss. Frozen, 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 because they're not stacked up with the raid. And then we just have so many people frozen at this point that we're not able to push the boss itself in time. And contrary, we look at this kill video, skip ahead a little bit. They have a slightly different positioning because of their Icefall, not a big deal. They're near the wall in general. They bait the Glacial Ray after they dodge. Oops, that's too early. So here we go. They bait the Glacial Ray. They swap to the barrel. They kill the barrel. And then they all move towards the wall. And so because they're all off the wall, at this point, all the damage from the point of the fire existing, they're just turreting Jaina. Broadsides happen, they can move to the left, they can move to the right, they can move separately, whatever. They just need to move a little bit away from the raid, and they're able to easily get back together. And this is just a turret, a sense of just like turreting the boss down. Ours was much more like people all over the place, people getting frozen because they weren't near each other, because broadsides are deciding to move back away from the wall. I've said this before, but like, here's the example of why we need to move as a group towards the wall and then have those broadsides be dealt with over there. This is the overlap timing that it should be. If we end up a little bit late on the barrel, it's not a big deal. Broadsides just move to the side. So make sure this happens. If this one change happened, actually we would have had a wall pull. So that's really that for the first boss, the first wipe analysis. So I'm getting directly into the second pull right now. We were lucky and did not have any freezes. Our beginning of the phase 2 as usual is fine, no issues there. I can honestly skip ahead if I wanted to. I don't want to mess anything up. But here we go. We're moving over. Timing's basically the same. We see the ice falls fine for us. It doesn't interfere with where the skull stack point is. So the west skull is where it is. See, so going, actually we're just going to go back right there. And so we see broadsides happen, drive-by broadsides. We can see right here, Rune does not stack up where he should be, so there's broadside in the raid. This is not good. We're moving around when damage is all over the place. And so we're going to see right here, Glacier Ray is going to be happening. Siegebreaker Blast should be to the left. Everyone else should be moving to the right. We see Siegebreaker Blast is actually at the right. So it's a mistake on Busty. Fortunately, it picked him, which meant that it was on the right side, and so that everyone got knocked to the left. In any case of him moving here and it not picking him would have resulted in the raid potentially getting hit by Glacier Ray. They also see a random freeze by Dutch, simply because he did not move to the wall after the broadsides. This is obvious and needs to happen every single time. Didn't happen. That's why the freeze happened. This is the loss of, like, you know, again, 0.5 to 1% of the boss's HP. Or a gain of her gaining that much HP. So we're going to break the barrel. Nothing crazy going again. We see the broadside should be breaking them. We have broadsides on myself, Rune, and a credit. And then we see Rune, again, doesn't move for broadside. Second time, makes things unnecessarily hard. DPS are losing time on the boss. We have to move around to do some crazy business. No one dies because the rest of people are paying attention. We stack well enough for the Glacier Ray, but we're also very close to the next barrel, which is not good. And so this is going to happen right here. Broadsides are going to spawn, and then, you know, we need to take the gateway. Please take the gateway, because as you can see right here, someone took the gateway backwards. Because Sarathi took the gateway backwards. On this ice fall, which is the worst possible ice fall, hitting directly at the wall means we need to move quickly to the right of the ice fall to not die. And so some people are late in terms of their movement. You can see right here, tons of people get hit. Some people are frozen, just die. We have Toad frozen, both tanks frozen, Log dies, so I believe an Ice Shoulder he got frozen. But everything just goes to shit because so many people are frozen or just take a bunch of damage from this ice fall not moving. And this is really it. This was not a pull that we had luck on our side with good ice falls. We had a bad one and we didn't adjust to it well. And honestly, we just don't, with these many people that even right here, we get to 32% again. And so I want to acknowledge Glacier Ray happens, we kill the barrel. This timing is fantastic in terms of the other stuff. And this is the pull example where I don't think it's a bad idea to drop it right next to the ray with the broadsides, because I don't want people running through the ice, potentially being slowed down, taking a little bit of extra damage and dying to the explosion. So here, the broadsides going here is fine, but this is it. This is a good broadside drop for this pull, but in general, we should be moving towards the wall after the fire. We're waiting for the ice fall to go away, which happens right here. We move to the ice fall and we burn the boss. So again, remember the movements. If you don't remember the movements, it is explicitly stated in the first wipe that we look through. Make sure that movement is clean. Make sure we are able to capitalize on good pulls. Good pulls being no one's frozen, no one dies up to the beginning of phase 2. That happens, the boss dies, and I'll see you guys